I,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, would you like to finish your statement?
Sure, thank you, and I'll try to be as concise as I can. There are some people who I suppose believe there should be no subsidies for anything involving transportation. And I assume in the spirit of philosophical consistency, they would be against subsidizing oil and gas, as well as being against subsidizing Americans being able to afford an EV. There are others who believe that we should force Americans to be in the technology of the past forever. And then there's this administration which recognizes that the world is moving to EVs, with or without us. And those EVs are either going to be made by Chinese workers or they're going to be made by American workers. And we respect the UAW standing up at the dawn of a new chapter in the automotive industry that created my hometown to make sure that those are not just American jobs, but good-paying American jobs.
Thank you very much. I apologize for having stepped out, but I went to speak to about over 200 members of the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, Southern Nevada Chamber of Commerce, who are in town, and told them I was coming back to see you. And they said, well, tell him thank you for partnering with us for all the infrastructure funding that has come to Southern Nevada. We've gotten about $3 billion already, $120 million for the airport. It's everything from safe streets for the kind of underrepresented areas of the community, mass transit. All of those we think are great investment and help business come back in Southern Nevada. Our airport is also coming back. We had a record 52.7 million passengers through the gates last year. We're on track to go back to pre-COVID times. So I wonder if you would talk a little bit about the shutdown and how it's going to impact air traffic controllers and the progress that we've made so far and maybe set back our very vital travel and tourism industry.
Well, thank you, Representative, for the question. We're proud to see so many great projects taking shape in your region of Nevada. And it's a region that reminds us just how important the aviation sector is to the American economy. Even if you don't work in aviation, so many people who work, for example, in Las Vegas in tourism and travel-oriented industries depend on aviation to be in good shape. It's one of the reasons why we viewed the cancellations and disruptions last year as unacceptable, and it's why we're pleased to see the numbers getting better, but we know that there's more work to be done. Part of that work is having the air traffic control workforce that we need. We estimate there are about 3,000 plus more people we need qualified than we have today. And that deficit didn't build up overnight. We're not going to be able to address it overnight, but we now have 2,600 air traffic controllers in training. A government shutdown would stop that training. Even a shutdown lasting a few weeks could set us back by months or more because of how complex that training is. Mm-hmm. And we cannot afford that kind of politically driven disruption at the very moment when we finally have those air traffic control workforce numbers headed in the right direction.
Thank you. We're very concerned about that because that is the lifeblood of Southern Nevada. You know, we're becoming a big sports center now as well as entertainment. We're going to have the Super Bowl. We're going to have F1. If those air traffic controllers aren't out there, we're in big trouble. Speaking of people coming into the state, I want to ask you about the super speed train. If there are any other projects besides the Bright Line project from Southern Nevada to Southern California that are as far along in the process as we are, with labor agreements, with environmental studies completed. We think we're real competitive, and we've been working on this for a long time, and that would not only spur business, commerce, trade, open up ports from Southern California into the interior, as well as tourism, in both directions.
Well, thank you for the question, and as you know, both I and President Biden are enthusiastic about passenger rail, including high-speed rail. And again, I'll issue the caveat that I'm not going to speak to any active application that's underway that's being reviewed by our department. But I will note, as you said, that the proposed Bright Line West project really has a unique combination of advancements under its belt, made a number of advancements on both the permitting and the right-of-way for the project this calendar year. And that a lot of that is because of an innovative design that reduces impacts by using that I-15 right-of-way that's right there. I think a lot of people who envision high-speed rail where they live wish that there were such a ready right-of-way to take advantage of. So that is certainly a project that I know, I can tell you has our attention, and I know the enthusiasm for it in your district and really across the Southwest.
It has regional significance, it's bipartisan and by state, so we appreciate your giving that consideration. Thank you, I yield back.